Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank. Busey, your dream, our promise. Welcome to Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette. Today we're talking with three local nonprofits, DuPage Medical Group Charitable Fund, Easterseals DuPage and Fox Valley, and Illinois Biz. You're watching Spotlight, and joining me now from the DuPage Medical Group Charitable Fund are Dr. Steffler and Becky Janelli. So welcome, good to have you both here.
Thank you.
We're going to talk a little bit about the fund because I think this is really fascinating, and I'm going to start out with you, Dr. Steffler. Explain to us the mission of the Charitable Fund for DuPage Medical Group.
Well, the Charitable Fund was initially established by a group of physicians at DMG that wanted to give back to the communities that we live in and work in. So that was about 10 years ago, and since that time, we've been able to empower about 50 non-for-profit agencies to provide the work that falls within our mission, which is to provide shelter and food and health care to those most in need. So we do this by donating grants to these organizations, or we do volunteer experiences with our physicians and our employees, or we do in-kind donations of toys and food and clothing as the need exists.
Okay, and I would imagine, obviously, as a group of physicians, you see a lot come through your doors. So that mission sounds really, probably very personal, I would think, for all of you.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, very meaningful. And as you think about that, because obviously you talked about a number of things, in-kind services and also grants, which obviously is a not-for-profit, that's an important part. How do you raise those funds?
Well, we have donations from the physicians and the employees and some organizations that we work with. But we have two large fundraisers a year. One is a Care Affair Gala that we have in the winter. And then in the summer, fall, we always have a golf outing. We also have a giving campaign throughout the year for the physicians and the employees, which usually kicks off around Giving Tuesday in December.
Okay, all right. That seems like a good time to kick off a campaign, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So Becky, I mean, you're an employee. Talk a little bit, if you would, and tell our viewers, how do you engage the employees of the group? Because obviously there's the physicians, but it's a much larger group, right,
Sure.
with all the employees as well. So give us an idea of how you engage them.
It was important for us to engage the employees, not just in asking for financial support in the form of donations, but also in the opportunity to provide service and to provide their time and talent. Because so many of them live right in our community, right in our footprint. And as DMG has expanded, we've really seen the opportunity for us to expand our employees' opportunities as well to volunteer. So some of the ways that we engage them are inviting them to be charitable champions. We have over 100 charitable champions across the organization. Our charitable champions help spread the word amongst their teams to get involved for whatever initiative we're supporting that month. We also have some ongoing service opportunities, such as participating in Loaves and Fishes, and some other agencies where we're inviting the employees to come on site and to really get involved. And we also have a couple of annual events with our American Heart Association and our American Cancer Society walks, where we'll not just fundraise, but we'll get them involved in the activities that support those specific organizations.
Really does deepen your roots, right, within the community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I love the charitable champions. That's a great little acronym. I love that.
Yeah.
That's really great. And I would imagine that as you're doing that, because you're a large group, you've grown very much.
Yeah.
I would imagine that also creates that sense of team, right?
Absolutely, and engaging the team takes all kinds of forms, whether it's our women leaders volunteering to do Habitat for Humanity, or it's our registration department recently adopted Bridge Communities, and over the summer they rallied around quarters as they found out that some of these families that are in flight from some traumatic events really have challenges getting their laundry taken care of. So we did a quarter drive to support those families and raised enough money for 13 families to do their laundry all summer. So just little opportunities like that allows us to connect with the community in a new way.
Yeah, that's great. Very innovative. I like it. Dr. Steffler, you know, obviously DMG has a big group. There's also a lot of other healthcare providers in the area. How do you see the DMG Charitable Fund being a little different or unique?
Well, the biggest difference is that every dollar that we raise goes directly into the communities. So whereas other organizations will fundraise and put that money towards equipment or towards events or towards their staff, every dollar we raise goes right back into the community. We don't have any overhead. We have the advisory board actually vets each of the organizations that we give grants to, and so that we make sure that the money is evenly distributed and distributed fairly within our mission.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and you just kind of talked about the advisory fund, which, Becky, you're a member of that. So give me a little bit of a sense, your personal takeaway.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, being involved in healthcare is something that speaks to my why I get up and get to work every day, because giving back to patients is important to me and helping people. The Charitable Fund Board has allowed me and our employees through our engagement activities to broaden our why. So we are not just helping the patients that are in front of us, but helping the community members, even helping ourselves. Many of our employees utilize the services of some of the agencies that we support. So we have found that we become part of something bigger. It's not just the 9 to 5 of keeping the clinic doors open. It becomes part of a bigger mission where we're really able to kind of increase our sphere of influence and see some real changes take place.
Okay, so I mean, that sounds very much like good corporate citizenship, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So as you think about that, I mean, we hear a lot, that word's thrown out a lot, right? But it's important. So speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, so DuPage Medical Group, through the Charitable Fund, has been able to really model that good corporate citizenship with how we support such a wide range of agencies. Within this model or this mission of the health, the housing, and the food, we've been able to provide funding and then through volunteerism, actual hands-on support to so many of these agencies right in our geographical footprint, but even beyond that, as we grow and expand, we've been able to see how we can really expand that support as well.
Yeah, well, you certainly sound like you have a passion for it, and I think you know it's always nice when somebody not only is giving in their day job, but then takes that a step further, right? And nice when you have so many people rallying around, which it sounds like, from the physicians to the employees, all kind of coming together to really do some good work in the community. Thank you for that. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
If you are interested in learning more about the DuPage Medical Group Charitable Fund, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We're coming right back with more Spotlight.
You work hard, and you want to see your efforts pay off, literally. Whether you're dreaming of retirement, growing your business, or leaving a legacy for future generations, at Busey, we help you realize the possibilities of tomorrow. We listen to your needs and goals to create a sound strategy for you and your family. Enjoy the achievements of your life and work. We'll handle the rest. Busey, your dream, our promise.
If you're just tuning in, you're watching Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette, and joining me now are Maureen and Aaron. They're here representing Easterseals of DuPage and Fox Valley. So welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. And Maureen, talk to us a little bit about the mission of Easterseals.
So at Easterseals, we serve children with disabilities. We serve kids that have mild delays, and we serve kids that have more complex needs. We serve nearly 1,000 children a week between all 3 of our sites, and our aim and our mission is just to help kids live their most independent life and to support the families who love and take care of them. So it's a big mission, and we're happy to make progress and help the kids reach their goals.
That's wonderful. Now, you mentioned 3 locations, so where do you service?
So we have a location in Villa Park, and right here in Naperville, and one in Elgin.
Okay, all right, so you have a nice little triangle of
Absolutely.
service.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Erin, what makes Easterseals different as an organization?
Yeah, we, as Maureen mentioned, we see such a variety of children. Some that just may be having a short need, like a communication delay, and then others that might have a need for, more complex services. And what I love as a non-clinician, Maureen and all of our therapists are just so passionate about what they do. They truly want to help every child and family reach whatever goal that they need. And they are really, really in tune with children, especially babies and toddlers, making sure that they're reaching their milestones at the right time. And I find the cross collaboration that they do between departments to help the child reach their goals is very wonderful to see for me, and the way they really help that family in any need, a resource in the community, or just helping them just find and really celebrate their child's current level, and finding new progress and goals for them is tremendous to witness every day.
Well, it's interesting, and what I noticed that you said, and I'm going to ask you about it, Maureen, as a clinician, you talked a lot about goals, and that sounded very individual, so which kind of, I think, maybe talks to how you provide services and some of the things that you do.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, so we provide occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy, nutrition, audiology, family services. We're so comprehensive, and so we really look at what does this child need, what does this family need, and we try to meet that need for them. So everything is very individualized, and it's just based on the child and where they need to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got any favorite stories you want to share?
Oh, I have 100. So I can tell you one story of a little guy that came to me. He's 4 now, but he came to me when he was about 2, and he has gone through the process of being diagnosed with autism. And he's such a warm and engaging little boy, and he was very passive when I first met him, and he's just come out of his shell. And his 6-year-old brother told me the other day, he thinks he's the boss of the house. And that was something that just stuck with me, because he's just come out of his shell, and he's an assertive little guy, and he's just doing fabulously. So yeah, that is something that will stick with me for a long time.
Nice. Maureen, as you think a little bit about the parents and the journey that the parents are going through, say a little bit about that, and how Easterseals is supportive of not just the child,
Right.
But also the parents, so that whole family unit.
So the child is evaluated by whatever discipline is appropriate for them, and the family is involved in the evaluation. The family is involved in the therapy. It is not just the child. The child is a part of a family. So there are siblings involved at times. The family is integral. It is very, very important, and we know that research supports that it's not just about therapy. It's about incorporating everything into their life, and we can't do that without the parents and the family. So it is. I feel like it's a triad when I treat kids. It's the child, and it's the family, and it's myself. It's not a dyad. It's a triad.
Okay.
That's the way we look at it.
How would families access your services?
So they can go to our website, and they can access our services that way. And if a family has any concerns, if they're wondering how their child's development is progressing, if they're on track, we have an ages and stages questionnaire that will lead them in the right path, and they can access that through our website.
Okay. So in some cases, families know they need services, and in some cases, what it sounds like is maybe they're not sure
Correct.
if they need services.
Right, right. So if they do this ages and stages questionnaire, it just asks simple questions. Can your child stack blocks? Does your child respond to his name? Very simple questions. And you would just answer those questions, and then you could discuss the results with your pediatrician. And if there's a concern, then you could access our services for further evaluation.
Okay. And are the services that you offer between the 3 locations, are they different or the same? It's the same services no matter what?
It's the same services at all 3 sites.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you can just pick the one that's most convenient.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Erin, obviously, you're a nonprofit. You're delivering a lot of good services. How can the viewers help?
Yeah, well, especially in our Naperville location, we really appreciate anyone that can come and help volunteer. Our kids love to see people and show them off their new skills. If they're walking down the hallway for the first time, they love to have an audience for those great accomplishments. And they can, these volunteers can help do maintenance work that's always needed, help make our equipment the top of the line as it is with our therapists, and really just be a great connection in the community. We also, of course, rely on donations as a nonprofit, and with our superior services, we just don't receive the amount of funding through insurance to really just even maximize an hour of service, so we rely on donations from the public to make sure that that little child is getting the absolute best possible service, and their insurance, if their insurance doesn't meet that need, we can still help them and fill the gap.
Yeah. As you talked about those volunteer services, again, is that something one goes to the website and you kind of have a list of maybe what I could be interested in and how to get involved?
Yes, so we have an application on our website. It's under our Get Involved, and you can find, and really we find whatever someone's passionate about, we usually have a role for them. So we match you. We have a volunteer coordinator that will discuss with what their interests are and align. It could be helping at an event, or even a whole organization can volunteer for a day at one of our locations.
Okay, that's wonderful. Well, I know that you're very important to a lot of kids and a lot of families, and the services you provide are really so meaningful, and we thank you for that.
Oh,
Thank you.
If you would like to find out more about Easterseals, DuPage, and Fox Valley, please go and visit their website. Stay tuned. We're coming right back with more Spotlight.
Timing is everything, especially when it comes to your business. Whether you're ready to start up or expand out, running a business is challenging. You deserve a trusted partner. At Busey, we tailor our approach to your unique needs and help you navigate financial decisions, achieve your goals, and realize your dreams of success. Your dreams shouldn't wait. Busey, your dream, our promise.
We're proud to call Naperville our hometown, where you can enjoy simple pleasures, such as a stroll along the Riverwalk or the excitement of a Friday night football game. It's where families can raise their children and plant their roots for generations to come. And so we're proud to be the city's nonprofit television station, keeping residents connected and informed through video storytelling on air and online. We ask that you continue to watch and share the stories about this wonderful town we call home.
Welcome back to Spotlight. And joining me now to talk about Illinois Biz are Todd Stuckenberg and Mark Blackman. So welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, Todd, so we're going to start right out with you. Give us a little bit about the history of Illinois Biz and kind of what prompted it to get started.
Sure. Illinois Biz has got a very rich history. It actually goes all the way back to the early 80s at Moraine Valley Community College. There, the community college wanted to establish some type of an outreach to the business community, and the concept of leveraging the knowledge and the skills within the college was one that bore Illinois Biz. From there, the organization actually ended up under the umbrella of Northern Illinois University as well as the University of Illinois for a very long time. So it's had this long history and association with institutes of higher education. Now it's independent on its own as a nonprofit serving the business community exclusively.
Okay, so that was quite a journey.
It was, yeah.
But now independent. And so talk to me a little bit about the advantages of that for you.
For us, it means that we don't necessarily necessarily have some of the bureaucracy that comes along with big universities. Frankly, there's a benefit, but there's also contracts and procurement that can create a little bit of a headache for some of our clients. So we operate completely independently with exclusively the best interest of the client in mind.
Okay.
We're here as a service organization to the business community in the Naperville area, but really in all of Illinois, as a resource for them.
Okay. Obviously, you've got this rich history. So talk a little bit, though, about what some of your product offerings are now, today.
Sure. So I like to look at what we do in the domain of 4 pillars. The first one is business process improvement. We help businesses really ensure that they're operating as effectively and as efficiently as they possibly can. We use ideas like lean, which really looks at eliminating waste in your processes, whether it's a manufacturing process or whether it's a process that's in your office. How do we ensure that we're doing it the most effective and efficient way, taking out any wasted steps? Then we look at things like Six Sigma, which is a concept that is a statistical concept at reducing variation, so that we eliminate gaps in quality and eliminate any potential variable that comes into play. We also look at applying a variety of other different techniques like root cause analysis and problem solving to really make sure the business is running as well as it possibly can. The second pillar is we support companies that are under the auspices of a quality management system. So an ISO system, something of that nature, helping them prepare to become certified to that standard, but also helping them, after they've got the standard, maximize its use. The third area is professional skill development, and it's wide-ranging for us, all the way from strategy and executive leadership development down to things like simple, how do you communicate better in a business environment? How do you negotiate? How do you improve teamwork? So that's the third area, and one that we really see used in a lot of different types of organizations. The fourth is technical skills, and we mean really technical skills. Things like welding, machining, electrical work, all fall within our domain in an area that's really in growth demand now, as a lot of that vocational education's gone away from some of the schools.
I would add one other area that is very big, and they've developed quite a following for this, and that is customer surveys. Really going out and managing and finding out how customers feel about their clients and giving some incredible data and feedback.
Well, I think, doesn't that kind of leads really into a lot of then the other training pieces and stuff that you're doing. I mean, it helps you got to start with the customer in mind. If you're building a more efficient organization, to what purpose, right? So really understanding what that customer is looking for and values.
Yeah, and the surveys are both customer and as well as internal employee surveys, and that really, we hold that under that professional services domain because it affects so much of the training that needs to take place then after the fact.
Sure, absolutely. Well, that's a wide range. I mean, and it sounds like very much everything from manufacturing to small office. I mean, a range of business and industry stacks, right?
Absolutely true. Our hallmark has been in the manufacturing area, and there's a wealth of manufacturing that happens here in the Naperville area, in the greater DuPage area, that most people don't even realize is here. But our concepts, what we teach, really expands to just about any kind of organization. So we get involved with healthcare. We get involved with professional services firms in a wide gamut.
Okay. Well, that kind of, and a good jumping off point maybe for you, Mark, because I know your company, Gold Eagle, is really in the manufacturing side of that. So talk a little bit from your personal experience about how you see Illinois Biz differing from other training suppliers out there.
Gold Eagle's an 87-year-old company, third generation, and so we've been in business a long time, and we've brought in a number of different consultants and organizations. We've been affiliated with Illinois Biz well over 30 years. And I can tell you, having seen all these different organizations and the way they operate, many of the consultants will come in and they want to help your business, but it's all about the dollar and the hours they book, and they don't really develop a personal relationship. Whereas with Illinois Biz, the consultants and the folks you're working with, companies like Gold Eagle are working with, these are very successful business people from their previous lives that have excelled in their areas of specialty. And they are in there not necessarily for the money, they're in there because they want to give back and they want to share that experience and really help businesses build themselves. They get fulfillment, and Illinois Biz gets fulfillment by seeing their companies or client companies be successful and really help them grow and be sustainable. You don't see that type of environment, that type of relationship, and there's just a great deal of trust as a result of it.
Yeah, well, and it kind of speaks to your not-for-profit roots, right? I mean, that's a big part of that
Exactly.
too, in terms of what the motivation is. Todd, talk a little bit, about how a business would go about accessing your services,
Sure.
and then you have kind of some grant making that you do. So explain that.
That's correct. And as a nonprofit, that's one of the things that really makes us effective and affordable as well. So clients come to us from all different means. In today's environment, a lot of them find us online, and they come to us via our website. They call, and the first thing that we do is just ask questions. What is it that you need? What are some of the challenges you're having with your business, so that we can custom fit what one of our offerings might be for their need. After that, we do a proposal for them. We talk to them about the need, and we offer them an assessment of this is what we think you should do and what it's going to cost you in terms of time and our fees. Those fees are offset by a grant relationship that we have with two entities. The Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, the state of Illinois, brings forward an employee training grant because they really want to support companies here in the state.
Okay.
And that's facilitated for us by the Chicagoland Chamber of Commerce. So the Chicagoland Chamber of Commerce is a 100-year-old organization that has its roots in Chicago, as the name says, but has expanded beyond that to really the greater Chicagoland area and is becoming more of a voice for business across the state. And so in order to access our grants, which pay for a significant portion of our fees, it has to have, the entity has to have a membership with the Chicagoland Chamber, which is very affordable and brings other benefits as well. But then we go to work and we do the best that we possibly can for the client.
Okay, well, that sounds good. I'm just going to wrap up with you real quick, Mark. You were going to tell me one thing about why we should consider Illinois Biz.
Well, again, 30 years of experience. These guys, they come in, and any small, medium-sized business is going through evolution, right? Going through different parts of the journey. Illinois Biz was with us every step of the way, and the things that we do today are a heck of a lot better than what we did when they started with us, because they helped us on the journey. So all the areas that Todd covered, and I'm not going to recite them, but all the areas that Todd covered, we have utilized their services and continue to do today.
And hoping to be around for another 85 years, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing so much good information about the services that you provide to businesses right here in our area. So thank you for that. If you would like to learn more about Illinois Biz and its services, please go and check out their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We're coming right back with more Spotlight. I'd like to thank all of my guests for joining us on Spotlight, and also to our friends at Busey Bank for their generous sponsorship of today's show. If you would like to learn more about the organizations featured, please visit our website at nctv17.com. And if you're like me and want to stay up to date about what's happening in our community, sign up for our free daily news update and like and follow us on Facebook. For Spotlight, I'm Jane Wernette. Thank you for watching. Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank. Busey, your dream, our promise.